that doesn't make it the entry. The entry should be one that the trader uses and finds with patience, strategy, intelligence, using this little tool here, what we call the asymmetry calculator, measuring what's my risk, what's my reward. Does it meet Paul Tudor Jones 5-to-1 risk reward ratio? Am I doing just a spot trade? Or do I need it to be a bit higher, like an 8-to-1 or a 9-to-1? Because I am actually looking to do like a 3x leverage trade or a 5x leverage trade. And I don't want to risk as much if I do get stopped out. Because maybe I'm not going to just buy AR. Maybe I want to just long it with a 2x or 3x leverage. And with that, the cool thing is if and when you're successful, a 3x leverage moves at 3 times the ROI speed, right? Like the ROI that you accumulate is 3 times as fast as the people that just bought into this. And we know, as crazy it is, we know there's people that bought Solana, just a random example, at like 12 bucks. And then like sometime later, a year later, it's like 180. And so whatever that math is, 12 to 180, what is it? 180 divided by 12. That's
16.
That's 15 times, right? So that person had 15x. So technically, and this just kind of like could happen on any given time frame, but a person that has a 2x leverage derivative trade that travels at 2 times the speed or 2 times the money velocity as the organic asset is actually poised to get a 30x gain, minus right? We'll say fees, whatever fees there are for the exchange fees, holding fees, interest, whatever you want to call them, but we'll lump them in and call them fees. And so maybe that person, depending on how much leverage they have, what the fees are, they have to account for that. But just as far as like the speed itself, if the organic asset climbs at a rate of whatever, and it has a 15x, and you actually, for some reason, didn't buy the organic asset, you longed it at 2x, just 2x over the course of, maybe it was a long trade. But if you long this asset for months and it happens to do a 15x organically, and you did it at a 2x, then you literally experienced that 30x as a total result, minus fees, of course, instead of what people who bought the asset experience, which is a 15x, which is amazing as it is, right? Anybody who has a 15x is doing really well. So that's kind of like just a little quick something on leverage, and even how powerful low leverage can be in a situation where you're doing something over the course of a long period of time, right? If you look at the calendar on the bottom, this is like October of 23. That's the trigger. A nice purchase was right here when it touched the volatility cloud. I mean, one of many, right? But literally something like that. I'm buying the asset, so I'm willing to lose 7%, and I don't really have an upside cap. It just depends on, like, we have different ways that we can forecast upward potential, and I have that. I'll send that to you, included in the video I just did. So we can actually forecast the potential for this, but in crypto, a lot of times it will surprise you, especially with newer assets. Like, they could flop and die, which is the downside, which is why you want to cap it at 6-7% in this case. But they can also go up to crazy numbers, which is why I think so many people, are enticed by crypto, because entering there at that, perfect time in late 2023 and just riding to like current price action, which if we're at the beginning of a bull market, people, it's all over the place as to speculation as to where we are, but just current price action is 474% gain. So you can kind of do the math. Like, am I the kind of person that wants to put 1,000 in and try to 2x leverage it? In which case, that person would be at $10,000 roughly off of 1,000, while risking about $70, I think. We'd have to do the math, but something like that, right? Like an overall relatively small risk. And because it was yeah, just depends. But regardless, very, very nice, asymmetry, which is what we're looking for. So that's a bit of use case on volatility cloud.